Hey guys, welcome back. I'm HungryMan97. This is the 1965 Top Set. We're going to be talking about this and its errors. We're also talking about GruntTalksMLB.com. Darren is over there hosting my videos. If you're a veteran or if you love sports or both, check him out. He's veteran friendly. A lot of cool stuff, including stuff for sale, interviews, funny stuff, mainly baseball. Check him out when you get a chance. He's also got my videos hosted over there, and I appreciate that. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. I'd love to see it as a subscriber. It helps my channel grow, and you won't miss any content that's coming out. So support me, and I do appreciate it. Let's get started with this set. There's 598 cards in this set, and just like other 1960s golden era of baseball sets, the 7th series is the last one to come out, and it's a lot more scarce, but not as bad as other sets. So if you are chasing the complete set of 1965, those high numbers are just not as rare. So that's a good thing. One of the notables in this set is Masanori Murakami, or Mashi, first ever Japanese baseball player to play in the MLB. Pretty cool thing, right? He played for the Giants one year, then he went back to Japan and played there for like 17 more years. So it's either 18 or 19 total seasons, but he had a nice career, and Giants fans still love him. Go Giants. So that's a pretty cool card, and they're not that expensive for that Mashi rookie. Let's get started on this error set. Card number 4, NL home run leaders. There are 3 Giants on that card. That's pretty cool, right? But on the back is where the error is. The very first line says Mays, New York. Well, since 1954, the Giants were not in New York. They're in San Francisco. That was an uncorrected error. Nick Bertel, number 27, there's a blob over his right shoulder. I'll show you a picture of that. Just some kind of printing flaws. You see a lot of that in these 1960 sets. Number 38, Jim King, there's blue blobs left of his name. So down the bottom corner there, you'll see what I'm talking about. Mike Shannon, number 43. His name is in red. Now, that doesn't seem like an error, right? But all of the Cardinals, the names should be in yellow. I don't know if that's really an error or not. It's considered an error. It was not corrected, though. Number 47, Tommy Harper. If you Google errors in this set or variations, this one seems to pop up a lot. There's a white squiggle by his left ear, and it's kind of a white inside of the cloud there. You can get that with or without that. Jim Cott, 62. Hall of Famer, recently inducted. So you see something going on with his name there, right? It shouldn't have 2 T's. It should have 2 A's. It's funny because it's spelled correctly on the back. Ty Klein, 63. There is blue in the upper left border. So you see the blue just kind of bleeds in there somehow. Obviously a printing error, but that is a variation. So a lot of these weird little squiggles and splotches, whatever, if you are collecting the whole set, the complete set, you want to go for those variations too. So that's what I'm here for. Lou Burdett, 64. Misspelt his name. Should be L-E-W, actually, not L-O-U. Red Sox rookies, number 64. Petrocelli is not a switch hitter. They called him a switch hitter on the back. Whatever. They did not correct that. 75, Darren Johnson. There's a white streak on his name. 79, the first series checklist is a variation. So there's a couple things going on here. So on the very back, on the back, number 61, it says Cannizzaro, the baseball player, but it should be C. Cannizzaro. If they couldn't fit his first and last name, they should have just put the first initial, but they have it with or without that first initial C. Whoop-de-doo. And they're both easy to find. They're not really one worth more than the other. Turk Farrell, number 80. Part of the stat line on the back is missing. It's like obscured. You'll see a picture of what I'm talking about. You can get it with or without that. Uncorrected error, number 97, Pedro Gonzalez has a wrong birth date. Number 134, World Series game number 3. Okay, so this is considered an uncorrected error. I kind of put it into the trivia column. It shows Mickey Mantle on the front there. It doesn't look like him, by the way, but it is, okay? That's not the error. The error is he's wearing a road uniform in the picture, but he should be wearing a home uniform because that's where he hit that home run to win the game, 3-2, I think it was. So Topps doesn't guarantee that it's a picture of the game, or maybe it should be. So I put it under the kind of the trivia column. You guys can decide on that. 152, Phil Ortega. There's a yellow ball next to his first name. It's called the Yellow Sun variation. So number 158, Dick Sizzler. Now this is son of George Sizzler, Hall of Famer. There's an uncorrected error going on with this card where the bio does not include the 11 games he played with Cincinnati. It talks about his career, but for some reason it just leaves off the Cincinnati Reds career. Bob Clemente, well, it's Roberto Clemente. He does not go by Bob, but that's what he was called back then, number 160. This is a funny one. I like this one. 1960s team is misspelled as Pittsburgh. Okay, should be Pittsburgh. They did not spell that one correctly for some reason. Willie McCovey, number 176. One of my favorites of all time. Favorite players. Date of birth is wrong. It's really strange because this is not his first card, and every other card of his is correct for that date of birth. But for some reason, 65, Topps couldn't get that one right. So that was not corrected. Third series checklist, number 189. Number 211, Ridzik. They did not dot the I, or the second I in Ridzik, so I don't know why. But you can get it with or without that. Number 262, Bud Daly. Two things going on with this. So first of all, his date of birth. That was uncorrected. But also the 1959 stat year is listed as 1969. I'll show you a picture of that one. So they just went forward 10 years on that, which would be time traveling. But that was not correct, of course. Rico Carty, number 305. There's blue in the upper left border. Show you a picture of that one as well. Orlando Pena, 311. Wrong date of birth. Sterling Slaughter, number 314. So he's a pitcher, but if you look at his stat headings, it shows him as batting stats. And they just don't make sense if you look at them. I'll show you a scan of that one. Eddie Fisher, 328. 1964 ERA is listed as .302. It should be 3.02. Well, .302 would be pretty amazing, but no, not correct. They got the period in the wrong place. Woody Held, 336. We've seen him on a couple lists. They keep misspelling his name. It should be Woodie for his first name. Topps can't seem to get that one right. 361 checklist, partially missing the 4 in 429. You can get with or without that variation. The missing 4 does seem to be quite a bit more rare than the other. Leon Wagner, 367. The right blue border is partially missing. 387. Johnny Padres. There's pink in the top middle orange stripe. You can kind of see it turns pink there for some reason. 404, Stan Williams. The New York on his hat is visible, or it's kind of blacked out. So it looks like they colored it in because he was traded. They want to get the right team on there. But one of them, you can clearly says New York, and the other one, they just blacked out the whole hat. Neither one of them is really more rare than the other, but kind of a cool thing to have both of them. Two variations that I know of. Number 418, Johnny Edwards. There's a white blob on the back by the cartoon bat. I like this one because there's a little white blob where it looks like he's batting. It looks like a ball, but it's not supposed to be there. So you can get it with or without that, a little blob on the back. 431, Cardinals rookie. So they have Wayne Spezio on the front, but Ed on the back. Well, that's not really an error. I kind of put under the trivia column because his name is Wayne, but he goes by Ed. That's it. End of the mystery. Vic Power, 442. Date of birth, Gary Geiger, 452. There's blue in the lower left border. 462, Lou Krause. Well, they have the wrong guy on there pictured, okay? The photo is actually a picture of Pete Lovrich. They did not catch that, and they did not correct it. Poor guy. Don Pavlich. He's listed as a pitcher on the front, but he should be a catcher, not a pitcher, so they got that one wrong. And 508, 7th Series checklist, kind of a cool one. They changed the font size of the actual checklist to where one of them is slightly smaller, and you can see a gap at the bottom of it. That's kind of how, side by side, you can really kind of notice the difference. 513, New York Yankees. This is an uncorrected error. Now, to talk about on the back, their hits leader, Richardson, it shows as 267, which is his batting average, but it should show his hits. His hits should be 181, and they just got batting average instead. Bob Uecker, 519. Bob Uecker, funny man here. So this is kind of a debate whether this is an error or not. I'm going to definitely say it's not an error at all. So he's a funny man there. He's got a smile, and he's smiling because he's got a little secret for us there. He's actually a right-handed batter, but he's batting lefty. So he's posing lefty. It's not an error. I put it under the trivia column, but kind of a cool one nonetheless. Athletics rookies, 526. So we got a young rookie, Jim Hunter, coming along here. On the back, it calls him Tim Hunter. Okay. So not correct, obviously. And it's funny because the front of this card looks like a painting. I don't know why that is, and that's not the error. It's the Tim part's the error, but front looking like a painting is kind of weird to me, but whatever. 532, Hector Lopez, wrong date of birth. Tommy McCraw, 586. Last name is spelled McGraw, so it should be McCraw. They did not get that one corrected. And then the final one is a variation 594, Joe Gaines. There's a yellow line at the bottom. I don't know what's going on, if it's maybe the bottom of the sheet or something, but a little yellow line across there. Not hard to find. Not really worth more, but kind of a cool one nonetheless. Guys, that is it. That's the whole list of 1965 tops. Yeah, there's quite a few of them. Appreciate you guys hanging in and tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.